Every year, thousands of migrants make the perilous journey to Poland, seeking safety and protection. Most of them arrive through the country's eastern border with Belarus, having fled conflict, persecution, and hardship from places like Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Cameroon, and Sudan. In this video, we'll explore the asylum process in Poland. What happens when you first arrive? How can you apply for asylum? What rights do you have? And what are the obstacles you might face during the process? Let's begin by understanding the crucial first step, applying for asylum at the border. International law guarantees every individual the right to seek asylum, regardless of how they enter a country. In Poland, you can request asylum either verbally or in writing, immediately upon arrival at the border. When you approach the border guards, you must declare your intention to apply for protection. This request is then forwarded to the Foreigners Office, the institution responsible for managing asylum applications in Poland. You'll be required to present your identification documents, which will be held by the authorities for the duration of the application process. In return, you'll receive a temporary identity certificate for foreigners. This document allows you to stay legally in Poland while your case is under review. It is initially valid for 90 days but can be extended multiple times, each time for 6 months if necessary. However, this process at the border doesn't always go smoothly. Many migrants report that their right to request asylum is frequently ignored. There have been numerous reports from NGOs about migrants being denied the right to apply for asylum and instead being pushed back across the border into Belarus. For migrants in these situations, reaching out to humanitarian organizations is crucial. These NGOs can help ensure that your request for asylum is heard and properly registered. But challenges persist, and sometimes it may take multiple attempts to even begin the process. If you don't request asylum at the border, you can still apply from within one of Poland's migrant centers. Poland has 2 types of centers: closed centers and open centers. In a closed center, which is more like a detention facility, you can submit a written or verbal request for asylum to the border guard stationed there. Once your application is received, international law requires that you be transferred to an open center, where conditions are less restrictive. These centers are intended for asylum seekers, separate from migrants who have not applied for protection. But this transfer isn't always straightforward. Some migrants report delays in being moved from closed centers, remaining in more restrictive conditions while they wait. Additionally, accessing the asylum process from these centers can be difficult. Sometimes migrants have to wait weeks just to meet with a translator, which is essential for filing their request. Even more troubling, some asylum seekers receive eviction or deportation notices before their requests are processed. This issue highlights the unpredictable and often arbitrary nature of the asylum system at migrant centers. Border guards and officials have discretion over how quickly they handle applications, which means the experience can vary greatly from one individual to the next. Once your asylum request is officially received, the border guards must give you a document detailing the next steps. This document includes the rules and regulations of the asylum process, your rights and obligations as an asylum seeker, information on NGOs that can provide assistance, details about free legal aid offered by the state, the address of the center where you will reside during your case. For minors, an additional step may be required. If you are under 18, you'll undergo a test to confirm your age. These tests can involve bone or dental exams, which many experts consider unreliable. Unfortunately, these tests can result in minors being misclassified as adults, forcing them into adult migrant centers. While you wait for your asylum claim to be processed, life as an asylum seeker in Poland can be challenging. If you choose to live outside of a migrant center, the Polish government provides financial support, but the amounts are minimal. You receive around €165 per month for accommodation and €11 for food. For a family of 4, that allowance rises to €318 per month. As reported by the European Council on Refugees and Exiles, ECRE, it is extremely difficult to live on this amount, especially in major cities like Warsaw, where rent prices are high and landlords are often reluctant to rent to foreigners. For those living in one of the 10 asylum centers in Poland, conditions vary. These centers provide basic accommodation, meals, and a small allowance of around 10 euros per month for personal expenses. You're also given some financial aid to cover hygiene products and occasionally coupons for purchasing clothes or shoes. If you take on certain roles in the reception center, like helping with cleaning, translation, or organizing activities, you may be eligible for an increased allowance, up to around 21 euros. Additionally, whether you live in a center or outside, you have the right to free Polish language courses, educational supplies for children, public transportation to attend asylum-related interviews, medical appointments, and vaccinations, access to medical care and emergency services. After several weeks, or in some cases months, you'll be called for an interview with an official from the immigration office. This interview is a critical part of the asylum process. You'll be asked to share your story, why you fled your home country, and why you need protection in Poland. You have the right to an interpreter during the interview to ensure that you can fully express your situation in your native language. Interviews can take place in person or remotely via video call. Once the interview is complete, your application will be processed. By law, you should receive a response within 6 months, but in complicated cases or if documents are missing, the waiting period can be extended up to 15 months. If your asylum request is denied, you have the right to appeal the decision within 14 days. The appeal will be handled by the Refugee Board, which should respond within a month. However, in reality, the wait times are often much longer. In 2022, the average time to receive a decision on an appeal was 127 days. Unfortunately, according to NGOs, these appeals are often seen as symbolic. In most cases, the Refugee Board tends to uphold the original decision made by the Immigration Office. In 2022, for instance, out of 1,531 appeals, only 82 were successful. If your appeal is also rejected, you have 30 days to leave Poland voluntarily. If you are in detention, the authorities may begin deportation procedures immediately. If your asylum request is approved, you'll receive a residence permit. Refugees are granted a 3-year permit, while those under subsidiary or humanitarian protection receive 2-year permits. Importantly, these permits allow you full access to the Polish labor market, enabling you to find work and begin rebuilding your life. Even after being granted protection, you can stay in a reception center for up to 2 months while you find a place to live. Additionally, you will participate in a 12-month individual integration program, which offers resources like language training, job support, and social assistance. To extend your residence permit when it expires, you'll need to apply 30 days before the end of its validity.